welcome back. My name is Katie and today I am going to be doing some diverse reads recommendations. In honor of Diverse-a-thon, I wanted to talk about some of the diverse books that I have already read and talk about some of my favorites and recommend them to you guys. Where did my first one go? There she is. First up, I have Fire by Kristen Cashore. This is one of the books in the Graceling Companion trilogy. I absolutely adore this series. It is young adult fantasy, high fantasy. It takes place in this world called the Delve, where there's these things called monsters. Now these monsters can be anything from very brightly colored birds to, tigers. Now these monsters are kind of all over the Delve and they are all very brightly colored and they all have unique abilities. Fire, our main character, is the last remaining human monster and it follows her story, and there's rebellion and just all this crazy stuff, and it actually ties in very uniquely with Graceling and Bitterblue, the other two companion books, even though they take place at different times. So much fun. Love it, love it, love it. Our main character, Fire, is dark skinned, even though the fact that she is a monster gives her bright red, orange, and yellow flame colored hair. She is described as having dark skin. The main male protagonist is described as having dark skin. Everyone in the Delves is a race of dark skinned people, and I believe it's been a while since I've read this book, but I believe everyone except for our main villainous type of person is dark skinned in this book. And this book is just so much fun, and I love high fantasy books that have diverse representation, and this is definitely one of those books. Next up, I have another high fantasy novel that has all sorts of representation, which I absolutely adore, and this is a more well-known book on BookTube, and that is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. This is a young adult heist novel that follows 6 characters, and each one of those characters has a different skin tone, has a different body type. One of them is a character with a disability, a couple of them have different sexualities. It's just fantastic. Leigh Bardugo is one of my favorites. She also does a really good job of what I like to call casual queer representation, which I don't think is the right term for it, but it's basically representation in a way that's like not a big deal. It's not like a part of the plot point. It's not part of one of the character's struggles. It's just mentioned like any other relationship would be mentioned in a novel. She does a good job of that in her Grisha trilogy. I feel like she definitely grew more with the types of representation in her Six of Crows novel, and I'm really excited to read Crooked Kingdom because I am so ready to get back into this amazing, diverse, high fantasy world. Next up, I have an adult novel, and one of my favorite adult novels actually ever. I read it this year and it still is on my mind, and that is Everything I Never Told You by Celeste Ng. This follows a mixed-race Chinese-American family in the 1970s and dealing with that prejudice as well as a lot of other stereotypes, and this book is so good. I love it so much. I would recommend it even if you are not the biggest fan of adult fiction, you're more of a young adult reader. I love, 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 love this book. It's so interesting, so good. Next up, I have a middle grade novel, and it's actually a middle grade nonfiction, and it is Brown Girl Dreaming by Jacqueline Woodson. This is the story of Jacqueline Woodson growing up in the civil rights era in the 1960s. In Split, she would spend her summers in the South and her school year, I guess, in the North, and just all of her experiences as an African-American woman during that time. And it's actually also told in verse, which is absolutely amazing. Ignore my post-its. I loved this book. Also, again, I read it this year and I'm so happy about it. It's a National Book Award winner and it totally is deserving. I believe it has won more. This is one of the older copies. I believe it has won more awards if you look up a newer copy, but so good. Jacqueline Woodson is amazing and I really want to pick up some of her fiction works. And last but not least on this, To All the Boys I've Loved Before trilogy. The first 2 books are out. The last one comes out in 2017 by Jenny Han, who is I believe she is Korean American. If that is wrong, I've looked online. I've only found like random blog posts about it, so I don't know if that is completely accurate. I know she is an American, she lives in Brooklyn right now, But the main character and the family is a Korean American family, and it follows Laura Jean, who is has written love letters to all of her crushes in the past, and somehow those love letters get out. And it is a fun, light contemporary read, but it also, there's a lot of things in here that have to do with Korean American or Korean customs, as Laura Jean's mom is Korean and they spend a lot of time with Laura Jean's grandmother who is Korean, and they have all these Korean customs that come to play, and it was really interesting learning about that, and I really enjoy it. And I think protagonists like this and families like this are really important to show in young adult contemporary, so it's definitely one of my favorite diverse reads. So those are all of my recommendations for today. There are definitely more if you guys are interested in me doing another video. I'm having so much fun doing Diverse-a-thon right now, and I definitely will have more recommendations after my Diverse-a-thon read. You guys can check out my TBR to see what I've been reading. Also follow me on Twitter because I've been doing updates on there more regularly. I have not been vlogging. But that is all I wanted to say for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what some of your diverse reads are, some of your favorites. I really want to make this an integral part of me looking for books to read, is to look for more diverse books. So if you could let me know in the comments down below, I would really appreciate it. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys soon with another video soon. Goodbye!